Good morning. I think I'm sitting on an angle here. Woo! Rolling on a river. How are you guys this week? Last week, it got really bumpy in here. I don't know what happened, but I want to share a couple of projects with you. Good morning. Yay. I'm going to go see and share this video. Good morning, Linda.
I'm here. I don't know what happened.
I don't like when I can hear myself. Hey, Janice, good morning. So good to see everybody. I'm going to click the share button. It takes a second for it to pop up. Now, this week, if anything happens with my video, please tell me. Last week, I did the whole spiel, and it was bumpy through the whole thing, and kind of looked like a video effect, but no, I didn't try to make it look like that. So I'm going to show some of the projects I showed last week so that we can actually see how to make them without it jumping all over the place. I'm going to just go share this in my creative group. If you're not a member of the creative group, I share a lot of things over there that I don't actually share here. So it's fun if you're in the loop over there. So this week I am getting ready. Good morning. Maryland, that's great. I bet it's warmer there than it is here. Hi, good morning, Ella. So in the month of March, I have a whole bunch of things coming up. We have our club at the end of the month, this month, and that I call that the March Club because everybody places their order around March 10th. And then on the 7th, I have my normal monthly class. I get to go to Litchfield, New Hampshire. I have a standing workshop with a bunch of ladies up there. The week before I go to retreat, I'm going away on a retreat, and while I'm gone, the weekend of St. Patrick's Day, my husband is going to do the floor in my craft room. This craft room is probably 8 or 9 years old, and we built it ourselves, my husband and I. So the way the floor sits together is all broken on this side, and I can't even wash the floor. So he's going to rip my room apart while I'm gone, and I need to pack for both retreats, my retreat and the retreat the weekend before where I'm supposed to be going to relax, before I leave for everything. So I'm going to have some planning done. But I can't put this stamp set down. It's absolutely fun, and I'm gonna show you how I made this. So simple. And I want to just kind of show you some projects for last week. Now, before we go any further, I had a whole bunch of orders online, and I drew a name, and Shayla is going to get this in the mail from me as a surprise. Shayla placed a pretty big order, so she's also getting a bunch of cards from me, so I'm excited to send that to her. So thank you, everybody who placed orders. I appreciate you. Okay, so without further ado, I have a lot of crafty stuff to show you, so I figure we'll jump right in. These are the rectangle framelits, and I'm going to stand up here. I didn't put my clip down. Happens every now and then. Whoop, sorry that you get the whole shot. Hi. Too funny. But we're going to just flip the camera. Hey, Jan. Yeah, I'm excited to see you guys. I have your class already set and prepped. It's kind of feels like St. Patrick's Day. Hey, Jen. Good to see you, my scrapbooky buddy. All right. I'm going to stop the camera. Ready? Okay, so now we're going to look at my table. If anything isn't right, please let me know, because last week it was a small disaster with the camera. And I don't like the lighting, so, well, no, it doesn't matter. All right, so anyway, the rectangle framelits cut a hole that looked like this. And what's cool is the new rectangle framelits that we have has a stitched shape on both the inside and the outside of what you cut out. So I cut this out this morning, and we're gonna jump in and make a card with this. I was thinking like my Casing Tuesday sketch challenge from today, This is like pink sand, and if I'll post the picture right after the video because I have it all done. But I want to show you how you can work with these windows. So, like, how would you make a card out of this? There's a big hole in it, you know. But I'm just going to take this and cut it down to fit a card. And let me see if you're going to see my measurement here. How about 3 3/4? And let's go by 5. I meant to cut the other side, but it's kind of funny. The same swoop is on this side as on the other side. Okay, so 3 3/4 by 5. And then I'm going to go in and cut another scrap paper. I wonder if this is 4 already. Nope, it's smaller than 4, so I want a bigger piece. I want to cover the back once I do get it. Oh, and look, this was a scored piece of paper, but now it's just going to be the inside of our card. So I'm cutting off this scored mark and getting rid of that. This can be scrap, but that's good. So 4 by 5 1/4 to cover over the inside piece. So now these are just like card front pieces, and I could layer them up like this, but we're going to play with this hole that we cut in the card. And you know what? I need a Stampin' mat, so 1 second. I'm just going to go get one. My daughter is home from school today. Jan, she's coming with me to Litchfield. But I'd love to have her out here helping me, but like sometimes I can't think when she's helping me, so it's my own issue, I guess. So we're going to jump right in, and I'm going to put adhesive on the inside of my window. So you just run your tape runner all the way around this window per se. I think I just did it on the outside of the card. Meh, oh well, that's fine. This is actually the inside. So we're going to lay this down so that it sits on the inside of the card. So we just cut that window. And then this extra piece that we cut is just going to be to cover it up. So you can't even tell that that's what we did if you get the card in the mail. Okay, so this is our card base to start. And I am loving these new beachy sets because my retreat is up at the beach. So all of my pillow gifts I plan to decorate with this particular stamp set in hopes that everybody will remember to relax. So just a beach chair, super sweet. And I am going to put the black away for just a second because I need a 3/4 inch strip for this. But it's a super quick card. Now these pieces are meant to fill in any of the spots. This is the Blushing Bride ink pad. And here we go. I'm just gonna guess and sort of get it close and go for it. And I'm not seeing well because I'm not a standing stamper. Oh look, it wasn't too bad considering I can't see. I do much better when I sit down, but and then this is just the copy, so you can see right through the photopolymer if you pick a light color. And I'm doing tone on tone. So here's my my beach. Super simple and super sweet. Okay, so now I want to bring the paper cutter back in and cut a quick 3/4 inch strip. I love this paper cutter because it has a measurement on this side too. So if I want to cut a 3/4 inch strip, I don't have to worry about my paper hanging off the edge or getting sloppy. I can still hold it against the fence and use the ruler on this side to get my little strip. So there's my little 3/4 inch strip. And I'm thinking that we should have our Now, because this is smaller than an inch, if this was an inch, it would fit perfectly. But because it's smaller than an inch, I'm going to flip it over so that I can see that this is in the middle. Woohoo! Love when it goes flying. Okay, so let's ink up and relax. You deserve it. I took this weekend off. I was planning to take one day off, Saturday or Sunday. And I started designing on Sunday and it wasn't happening. And so I took both days off and it was glorious. My husband and I took a ride and got out of the house and it was just what I needed to relax. Okay, so I want to get some scissors and trim this. And I'm going to move this. So earlier I was following a sketch and I liked it there, but I think because I stamped this higher, I'm going to make this a little bit longer. God forbid I would have made the card the same twice, you know. So I'm just going to give it a little snip. And then I think it needs a little bit of color because it's white on white. Sometimes instead of layering your paper to add dimension, you can layer your inks. So I'm going to grab a sponge dauber and pick up my ink and just, these are great. You can actually rinse them in the sink, and because I'm using a water-based ink, it's pretty forgiving. Go right around the edge. Pretty. All right. So this is another way. Good morning, Tracy. So good to see you. So who wants to tie a bow on live? Not me. So I'll show you this one. I just brought my black baker's twine up from underneath these buttons. My phone just rang. Please tell me that my video is okay. Hopefully everything's okay. Let me know if it's not okay. But I love these buttons and they fit perfectly on a project. So I just kind of strung it up and tied a quick bow. So I can do that later. When we're not live. And then these are really fun. So you can make these as leaves off of your flower, or I gotta show you this. They make a heart. Isn't that fun? So I used them yesterday on some of the retreat stuff, and there's a heart on board. So I love this. So that's the first project. Please tell me that the video is okay. Just let me know if you're still watching. Because my phone rang. Gotta love that. Those telemarketers, they get me all the time. And I answer the phone that way too. I'm like, rawr, good morning. Okay, so this week I am sending out letters to friends. To potentially do some home parties, and I wanted to make a folder to send them a few cards and to let them know that I would love to do a home party for them. If you want one of these folders, let me know. If you're planning to have a workshop, I can send you the information, but I want to show you how to make this folder. So I have these envelopes from Walmart, and they're 5 3/4 by 8 3/4. So I want a folder that's going to fit inside with a little bit of give. So I need a 1/4 inch on either side. So I'm going to take a 12 by 12 piece of paper, and this is heavier than our typical designer paper. It's one of the specialty papers in the main book. And I'm going to score it down the middle at 6, and then I'm going to score a 1/2 inch on each side. So this is going to be the base of our folder. So that means that when I score it at 6 and then I take off a 1/2 inch, it'll be 5 1/2 this way. Now I want my folder to be 8.5 inches tall, so that if I take an 8.5 and 11 by 11 and I fold it in half, it's going to fit in my little folder. So 12 minus 8.5. Where do I want to score my paper? Anybody? So we'll subtract to 8.5. But I want my folder at 8 3/4. So how about if I just score it at 8 3/4? That's funny. No, I want it at 8.5. So I'm going to score it at 8.5. That means that this part is going to be the bottom of my folder. So let's take this, get the glue dot off it, and fold this up. Okay, and then, thanks guys, appreciate that. Last week something happened with my phone, and next thing you know, it was all like jumpy and weird. So I want to, at the end of this video today, I'm going to show you how to make last week's project, because it's so simple and so fast, but I couldn't watch it the way that it was, so that would make me nuts. So this is the bottom of my folder, and now we need to fold it down the middle too. So I'm getting all the score lines folded, and I could probably use a bone folder, but that would involve me walking across the room. And Lord knows I am all set with that right now. Okay, so I know it's hard to see on the video, but there is a line right here where my folder is going to fold up. But what I want to do to make it nice and crisp when it folds is I'm going to cut a little V into the folder. So on the line where it folds up to the 8.5 inch mark, because it's going to be 8.5 by 5.5 finished, there's a V now, and it looks okay. So then I want to take this and make it a little bit tidy. So I'm going to take a snip into the 1/2 inch mark right here. And here. Okay. So again, super fast. I'm going to get rid of this. Less clunky. And I'm going to take a little bit of adhesive. Actually, I'm going to take a lot of adhesive. What happened to it? Let's see. It's going to roll. And I'm going to fold this 1/2 inch piece in. And then I'm going to keep going. And in a minute, I'm going to close up my folder. But for now, I'm going to do both sides with the adhesive. So just take the adhesive and roll it all the way up. And you'll see where that other adhesive is going to go in a second. But this piece gets folded in to my folder. And then I'm going to fold this down. And I have this piece with the adhesive on it on the side. And it doesn't show because this paper is so busy, but it is so pretty. It's got like a pearl essence to it. This is in the main book. It comes in big packs, and it's so pretty. And if you were sending a card to someone, it's a perfect little gift. So I have a whole bunch of people that joined my team, and I have little packets to send out to them with a card. But see how nice it fits? So I'll print them out an 8.5 by 11 letter and put a couple of cards in, and isn't that fun? And I can even decorate the front. So that's how I make my little 8.5 by 5.5 inch folders from a 12 by 12. Pretty simple, easy math, which I like. All right, now I know I said I was going to make it last, but I'm doing it next. This paper, we're going to make last week's treat holder. And it's really quite simple. We're going to take the new designer paper. This is brand new for Celebration. I am going to sit. Yay. Because it only goes to 1 1/4 over here, and I want 1.5 inches. But this paper is free with a stamp set and a $100 order for Celebration. So that's 1.5. Oh my gosh, isn't it pretty? And for this particular design, This is the hard part. Okay, ready? Don't miss it. I'm going to fold the paper in half. Tough stuff. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside for a second. And then I need a 2 1/4 inch piece square. So I actually don't want to, I am so hoarding this paper. I don't want to cut the whole thing up. So I'm going to do 2 1/4 and then I'm going to put it back on the paper cutter and do 2 1/4 at the top. Because it is that cool that I just want to cut a square and not cut into the whole sheet. All right, so once I have my 2 1/4 inch square, I need to score this on all sides at a 1/2 inch, and I do prefer scoring on this, especially for something like a 1/2 inch. And this still has the marker on it from last week, so 2 1/4 minus a 1/2 inch is 1 3/4, and I'm a righty, so trying to go this way is a little fussy. So I'm just going to stick to this side and score it at 1 3/4. But it's really a 1/2 inch on all 4 sides. So, like you make a typical box, you're going to cut up the four sides, and it's just opposite, you know, 1 2 3 4, and then you fold these in. So I want the messy side, these little tabs, to be what's on the inside. So once I get this all folded, I'm gonna put my adhesive on the 4 little tabs so that they'll sit on the inside. I hope you're seeing that, like this. Okay, so I want my adhesive 1 2 3 4. That one didn't feel like it went. There we go. And then you just take these 2 pieces, fold them so it's 90 degrees to make your box. Isn't this cute? And you know, if I was doing this and I wanted a little more time, I might do it with liquid glue because it's just so much it's so much more forgiving. Like you have a second to move it around. But this holds my favorite candy. At midnight last night, I may or may not have uploaded, I may or may not have eaten my sample. Just saying. Okay, so there's the Ferrero Rocher, and it fits perfect in that little 2 1/4 inch scored on either side. So, I don't have a bone folder on the table, but I do have the backing to my scissors, so that's what I'm going to use right this second. And I'm going to shape this into a heart, and then on one end I'm going to put a little bit of very sticky adhesive. Again, if you have liquid glue, that would be the thing to use, or this is just what I had on the table. And then you marry up these 2 ends, and notice I'm slowing down. I just want to make sure that they're straight. I have an appointment this morning. Maybe I'll bring this to my friend who's taking care of my nails. She does such a good job. All right, so now I really want a sticky, super sticky adhesive on this. So again, in the air, you know. So I did one side that's gonna stick against this wall. And then the bottom. And it's not exactly perfect. I probably could have did 1 1/4, but I like them 1 1/2. They feel a little more substantial. And that's the same one from last week. I didn't do the extra flower and the banner coming off, but you can see how it goes together, and they are so super fun. They'd be a great favor for a wedding, and it's simple. Or you could do, if you had pink or blue, you could do baby boy or baby girl shower. That would be another fun way to do it. So how about this stamp set that I can't put down? One more project, and then I'll let you go. This stamp set is the Tropical Chic stamp set, and it's so dry out here. I'd like to re-ink this, but I didn't get a chance before we went live, so hopefully everything is good, but you want to make sure, especially this time of year, that your stamps have a lot of ink. Your stamp pads, unless you're doing the oh, look, I got a little bit of mark on that. I gotta pull out the sand eraser. Again, if you need a sand eraser and you're taking a class with me, we can add it on. I just have to look and see how much they are. It's not a big deal, but it's my savior if you have a oopsie and you rock the stamp like I just did, or you end up with a halo. It definitely fixes any of that nonsense. I gave one of these to my my manager at my BDM and asked her if we could carry them because they're so helpful. They're made by the same company that makes snail. I have them here in the studio if you need them. Okay, so this is so fun and simple. So I like this little leaf. They're all very tropical, so I don't know what the leaves are called. We were trying to determine what they were called last night, but I like that one in the middle, but I typically stamp all of the big leaves first when I'm doing a pattern, because if you don't, or you know, if you're doing a pattern of anything, like so big flowers, big snowflakes, the biggest image should go first when you're making your own designer paper. Because if you do all of the big images, then you won't have room for the smaller ones. Like this one, I may have gone a little too much. That's okay though. Oh my gosh, I love it. I think, but I think I'm only gonna do one of those, and I think I'm gonna skip because this seems like it fits better without overlapping. And this is Granny Apple Green. And the darker green is Shaded Spruce. So I think maybe we will just add a little bit of adhesive here and stick it onto a Shaded Spruce base. Isn't this pretty? Super simple. All right, and now that we're really hanging out, how about we tie a bow? Ha ha! This could be fun. So, does anybody have any big plans for March? I know that I'm really looking forward to, I'm going to 2 retreats. I'm going to one retreat as a guest, which I haven't done in a really long time. And then I am going to run a retreat up in Kennebunk. I am busy making the retreat goodie bags because there's a class in their bag. So this time, I don't want to give away too much, but they're doing a Stamp-A-Stack just out of their $50 goodie bag. And notice I'm still attached to the roll. That's good because, oh, my fingers aren't working. Oh, see, only when you're live. Okay, it's some of it's that I'm trying to tie a bow with thread. So I'm going to make my loops a little bigger so I can get my fingers around it. There we go. And then people wonder when they pick up a card from me how I tie these itty bitty bows. The trick is I don't. I tie a giant bow and then I nudge it down until it's itty bitty like that. Okay, so then one of my favorite moves is to put the adhesive on the back and use that to tack my ribbon, especially for something like thread where I'm gonna run it. I want it down further. So I'm gonna stick this to the card and go straight down the middle, and then I'm gonna go a little bit high, and then I'm gonna go a little low, and now I have this cross in the middle, and when I get to the back I can just tack it down so that gets stuck between the layers of my card. Hey, good morning, Laura. Good to see you. I'm so glad we're not jumpy this week. That was crazy last week. If that ever happens, please stop me and like beat me over the head because I may not see it when I'm live, but I saw the message that it was jumpy, but I didn't understand. I can always restart the video if I have a camera issue, but it might be time for a new phone. I think that calls for a business expense. I might need some new fandangle thing. Okay, so here is, I just stuck the item to the glue dot. I never handle the glue dots with my fingers because you have natural oils on your fingers, and it can make the glue dot less sticky. So now that that's all tied, isn't this cute? So I'll post a picture of both of these later, and the Ferrero Rocher holder. And the folder I'd like to send to some of you. So if you're interested in hosting your own party, either online or in person, let me know. I've done both, so they're totally fun, and it's gonna be home party month. It's so strange. I have kind of a busy schedule, but I want to walk beside my team and do the steps that they're doing. So I'm going to book a couple of home parties. If you need anything or have any questions, let me know. If you're placed an order with me this week, I'm going to send out tracking information later today when I get back. It is school vacation week, so it's pretty crazy here in the studio. I get to talk to my team now, and then I have an appointment with my daughter, and then we're going to go shopping because while my husband has the floor out, we're going to replace my cabinets that are kind of falling apart. So I think that's it. Oh, I do. This folder's poking me in the eye now because it's got that shimmer to it, and it's cool. Like, it holds a nice 8.5 by 11, or it holds a bunch of cards. Like, wouldn't that be fun to get in the mail? So, all right. Well, I think that's everything for this morning. I hope that you guys have a great day. Hi, Karen. And I will catch you next Tuesday. If there's anything that you're interested in me covering, I'm always looking for ideas. Oh, look, I had a little thing on my folder. It's like just hanging over a little bit. I'm just going to trim it because got to have a nice straight folder. But if you have anything that you're interested in me covering, please reach out. I love techniques. I do lots of watercoloring. I do just a matter of what you like. All right, talk to you guys soon. Bye.